Mr. Modi is sort of the Temu version of Netanyahu. Okay? It's a poor copy. And we call upon the Indian government to not be inspired by the worst examples possible. We pride ourselves, we in Pakistan pride ourselves that we're the heirs of the Indus Valley civilization.
Thank you so much, Abdul Hamid Sayam. Nice to see you again. I'm from Arabic Daily, Al-Quds Al-Arabi. Have you traced any involvement of Israeli military and Israeli drone in the attack on Pakistan? There are some reports say that immediately Israel, of course, they declared their support to India, but have you traced any weapons coming from Israel? And
do you have another question also?
Yeah, it's related to it. Don't you see also that India is copying what Israel is doing in the occupied West Bank by allowing the settlers to take over the land? And now India is copying that by allowing Indians to settle in Kashmir. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for your very pertinent and important questions. As far as the details of the Israeli equipment involved, I'll allow my team to expand if necessary. As far as I'm aware, absolutely, Israeli drones were used during India's attack on Pakistan. The parallels you draw, obviously, let me emphasize from the outset, there's no meaningful comparison that I can make between the plight of the Palestinians and the plight of Pakistan, the plight of Kashmir. What we're seeing in Gaza, what we're seeing in Palestine is uniquely outrageous, inhumane, and condemnable in all shapes, forms, and terms. Having said that, there are certain parallels that can be drawn. The actions of the Indian government post-2019 to do with the imposing demographic changes within Kashmir does draw parallels between what the settler program within the West Bank. As far as being inspired, India being inspired by the Israeli government, unfortunately it's being inspired in all the wrong ways. Its conduct outside of international law, its violation of international governments, the United Nations Charter, the arrogance with which it thought it could get away with this, that you can just scream terrorism and it justifies that you can attack any Muslim country at whim. It's based on these building of precedents that we've seen over time, be it in the context of the Iraq War, and obviously the actions within Gaza recently have inspired some of the actions by the Indian government. But Mr. Modi is sort of the Temu version of Netanyahu. Okay? It's a poor copy. And we call upon the Indian government to not be inspired by the worst examples possible. We pride ourselves, we in Pakistan pride ourselves that we're the heirs of the Indus Valley civilization. Mohenjo-Daro is a stone throw away from my constituency back home. India also prides itself that they're the heirs of the Indus Valley civilization. So we should act as heirs of the Indus Valley civilization and not as how we have been acting. One of the most incredible things about the Indus Valley civilization is that with all the archaeology that's gone on, we've not found a single weapon at all. The great advancements they had, urban planning, agriculture, water distribution, even sewerage and things. Not a single weapon. How far we've come from our roots. That an Indus Valley civilization, which didn't have a single weapon, is now armed to the teeth. I think that Prime Minister Modi must decide. He has two paths to follow before him. He could pursue the path of peace and be a true heir of the Indus Valley civilization. Or he could pursue another path, a path that we've been warning about, we've been seeing for some time, where Mr. Modi started off as being perceived as the butcher of Gujarat. He went on to become the butcher of Kashmir, and he aspires to be the butcher of the Indus Valley civilization with his assault on the Indus Water Treaty. It is of utmost importance, and I have full faith, that whatever the Indian government says, the people of India, majority of the people of India are peace-loving people. They want peace with Pakistan. The majority of people in my country want peace. So my delegation will be pursuing those aspirations of our people. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Dilek Kaya, İhlas News Agency. Considering India's rather provocative approach, do you fear tensions from flaring up again in the near future? What do you think can prevent such a possibility?
I think absolutely your question is very legitimate. While we do have a ceasefire on the one hand, and we have one party saying we want to engage in dialogue and diplomacy, we have the other party who says this is not a ceasefire, this is a pause. That is making one aggressive statement after another. The most recent statement that Mr. Modi made was that a specific message to the youth of Pakistan, that eat bread or you can eat my bullet. That doesn't sound like a man of peace. Having said that, I would like to differentiate between his public posturing and what I believe is in the interest of our two countries. Obviously, we've all come here and engaged on this mission with the hopes that by engaging international partners, just as they convinced Mr. Modi to agree to a ceasefire, they perhaps can convince the Modi government to agree to a comprehensive dialogue. And if we do engage in a comprehensive dialogue, that is the only viable path, not only to peace, but actually for us to solve our issues. There's no military solution to Kashmir. There's no military solution to terrorism. There shouldn't be a military solution to our water dispute. So that's the only worthwhile path to follow.
Mr. Nasser.
Yes, sir. It's not a question, it's just a clarification. When you said that Pakistan shot down 6 Indian aircraft and they offload their payload as well. So you were talking about the location. What was the location of the, hold on one second. Can you elaborate about the location of the shot down plane? I mean, to my understanding, it was like in a territory of Pakistan. Because
No, they're not in the territory. They weren't.
Just
we were part of Pakistan. First of all, as far as it took India. One of Pakistan's great strengths throughout this whole conflict was our credibility and our transparency. Our transparency with the media and our transparency with our international partners. And we did shoot down 6 planes. Even the shooting down of those 6 planes was Pakistan showing restraint. Pakistan had 20 Indian planes locked that night. But only 6 planes had released their load on Pakistan when they targeted those civilian